Robbie, welcome to Dublin. I hope you had a smooth flight over. Just wondering what you're looking forward to most about playing here.
Well, I'm excited to be a part of the first game over here. This place means a lot to the organization because of Ambassador Rooney spending time over here. So we're just trying to get acclimated after the flight and excited about seeing what the fan response is.
Derek Ulak from Pittsburgh.
Yep, recognize you.
How was the flight? What could you do? Mike, you talked about trying some pre-acclimation stuff. Anything that can you do with it?
Well, you know, there's a lot of great sports science around all of our schedule, and we started everything 90 minutes early this week. There was, Gabe spent time with a sleep specialist, which I'm sure was a riveting conference, wherever that was. But we had a lot of things that we were instructed to do. I slept a little bit on the flight. The flight attendants were great. The flight was great, and try and stay up today and get some rest tonight.
Aaron,
yeah.
From Cortina. Now that you are officially Steeler, we were just wondering, is this a kind of a payback from the Super Bowl that you won us back in 2011?
Payback. You know how the league goes, maybe you don't, but there's so much turnover. That was a long time ago. That was 14 years ago. So the only person kind of directly impacting the game from that Super Bowl was Mike Tomlin. So there's not a lot of people that have any, thankfully, memory of that or any bitterness toward myself about that. But, it's fun to be in the AFC North now. And so happens to be we played the NFC North this year, which I have a lot of history with. So it'll be fun to obviously get out there Sunday against a team I played against many times. And then eventually, Green Bay and Chicago and Detroit.
Hi, Aaron. Freddie from the Franchise Tag Podcast. This will actually be your 32nd time you play the Vikings, and you're 18-12-1 against them. So
yeah, that one was a tough one. Yeah.
That one always hang there. Yeah. What do you expect from this Vikings team every time you play them?
I played against Harrison Smith a number of times. Great player, Hall of Fame player. Always enjoy our battles over the years. But over the years, they've had a lot of great defenses. Some of it's been schematic driven, I would say, with like Mike Zimmer and Coach Flores. And then some of it, back my first start, they had incredible defensive line with Pat and Kevin Williams and Hall of Famer Jared Allen. I mean, Pat should be in the Hall of Fame. And Ray Edwards on the outside, and great linebackers, E.J. Henderson, Ben Lieber, Chad Greenway, one of the best nickels of all time, Antoine Winfield, Seth Griffin, Sharper, great defense, my first start. So I remember the battles we had in the NFC North over the years. This, great defensive scheme, great players, a lot of new guys though. I mean, look at even my time in Green Bay, my last year in 2022, not a lot of guys on that defense who played in that game besides Harrison.
Aaron, Chris Hawk with DK Pittsburgh Sports. You played against Brian Flores in this defense last year with the Jets. What do you remember about how they attacked you, and how is that helping you prepare for this game?
Well, we were overseas in the country a little bit to the east of here, different island. We turned the ball over. I turned the ball over too many times that game, but we had a chance late in the game to win the game. But they brought some zero pressures. They played sticky on the back end, got after us up front pretty good. But we had a little surge there in the second and third quarters and began the fourth to get back in the game. So, when you're playing Minnesota, it's going to be a four-quarter game. Our defense played well and kept us in the game, and I just didn't play well enough to win.
Aaron, I'd like to play from The Athletic. Along those lines, we saw the benefit of what you can do at the line of scrimmage just last game with Calvin Austin, the touchdown. What's the cat and mouse game like with a guy like Brian Flores when he's going to throw so many schematics at you and he's going to move guys around before the snap and everything like that?
He's a great coach, but he's not on the field playing. The cat and mouse is really with the Harrison Smiths and the Murphys of the world and Isaiah Rodgers and their linebacking crew, and then the great edge players they have, 58, 43, and 15, who are multi-dimensional players who can drop into coverage, rush the passer, and get sacks, and get in the passing lanes as well. So it's aware of where those guys are at and trying to be smart with the ball.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN, you said a couple of days ago that you were looking for forward to having a Guinness, specifically a Guinness on tap. Have you had one in the couple hours that you've been here? Do you anticipate being able to have one before the game?
Well, I like my Guinness on tap. I haven't seen any taps around here, but I went to, years ago, I was on the island in a different country on this island, and I had to go to 4 different bars to find a Guinness on tap, so I'm hoping that's not the case tonight.
Aaron, you talked about Andy across the pod. You talked a lot about the off-season, about wanting to work with Coach Tomlin. What's he been like so far to work with since you joined the Steelers?
Better than the expectation, honestly, and the expectations were pretty high based on what I'd heard about him. But he's a great leader, great in front of the room, the epitome of a player's coach, in that he stresses the importance of accountability, but he has a personal relationship with guys in a way that he does very effortlessly. So it's been a lot of fun working with Mike. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic coach, and it's a great organization too.
Aaron, BBC, Aaron, you're in a situation where you've achieved everything within the sport. There's huge excitement here, having a player your stature in a fixture like this, the first one ever in Dublin. Do you still get a kick out of new stadiums, new challenges, and the potential global expansion of the NFL?
Of course. I mean, I'm a historian and of the league, and I've seen how far it's come. I used to watch, highlights on an old VHS tape, and so I know the history of the league. I was fortunate to play for a great organization for 18 years that has a tradition of excellence going back to the first Super Bowl, and before that when there was World Championships and Coach Lombardi, and I'm now playing at another great organization that has a history of excellence that dominated the 70s. It's pretty special to be a part of the tradition like that. Is special, and I've also seen the expansion of the league. In my 21 years, when I first got in the league, there was an occasional game in Canada, but now we see games in so many different countries. I mean, we had a game in Brazil already. We have games in Mexico City. We have games all over Europe. There was a game in Germany. We played in London twice. There's games at Tottenham. There's games at Wembley, and now it's fun to be able to be a part of a game here on this island. And that's part of the game. The game has a global reach. The Super Bowl is, played in, I think, 100+ different countries. So we know the reach, and I think it's fun to, it's like a destination game for so many fan bases that travel well, and this fan base travels well. So I expect to see a lot of Steelers fans there.
Jack Angela here, University Times. What do you make of the reception from international audiences of the NFL? There have been some lawmakers who have come out against the NFL being here recently, as well as some of them pro. What do you make? What do you make of the general kind of reception you guys have gotten, especially the experience playing here last year in London?
I think it's been great. I think fans have been great. Like they love to cheer. Sometimes they're not sure when to cheer. I'm a fan of soccer, football, if you will, over here. And the normal, I think, fan base likes to cheer when your team has the ball. In football, we like it when the team you're cheering for, if you have the ball, just to be quiet a little bit so we can operate the line of scrimmage. But, there's something special about fan bases in Europe. I mean, I think anybody who's a sports fan has seen some of the videos of, like, top league basketball games, all over Europe, and the fan response. And I've talked to many guys who've played specifically basketball overseas, and they love it. I mean, they love the fan reactions, and being just a sports fan in general. The stories like Wrexham, getting to play with Rob Mack in Tahoe this summer, and the reaction from the Welsh fans, and bringing kind of that awareness of the love of sport to America for a sport that's always been, 4th or 5th in American sports is pretty cool. But to bring the number one sport in the country to a country like Ireland is really special. Just to let the fans over here, the sports fans, see, what the number one sport in America is and why it's the number one sport.
John Hayes, Street, congrats on going 4th on the all-time list for touchdown passes. How did you celebrate? Did you celebrate with a Guinness?
I did not. No, I didn't. There's no taps out there. I don't have a tap at my house, but that's a longevity accomplishment, and I don't know. I mean, with stuff like that, unless you're unless you're first, there's not a huge celebration.
We have seen the offensive line improve in the last game. How do you think it is important to the unit to improve in the next games to all the pieces to get together and keep improving in the offensive side of the?
I think the next big improvement will be the run game, getting over 100 yards. We've seen a lot of too high safeties. And when you're seeing that, you're not able to push the ball downfield as much as you'd like to. So in order to get some of that down the field passing game going, we need to run the ball better.
From Spanish Ball and National Football. This is going to be your third game international. Did you prepare in a different way this time for you to get your first international win?
Yeah, we haven't won the first two. Those are fun games, though. We played the Giants in 22, and then last year, same team, the Vikings. Every game is different, opponent-wise. You never know what's going to happen in the game. Like I said, we changed the schedule around. We started at 7 o'clock instead of 8:30 this week. So we're getting to bed a little bit earlier. We'll see if that helps or not. By the time you get to Saturday, you usually feel energetically pretty good. But, it's a 60-minute game. You just got to suck it up for 3 hours and go out there and try and put your best ball on tape.
Aaron, based on that question the Pittsburgh posted that before you got to the Steelers, how much did you know about the Rooney family? Have you spent a lot of time learning about them, and just what would it mean to you to lead the Steelers to win on Sunday?
Well, I'm just one part of it, but I know that he was the ambassador to Ireland, and I know that Art got up and talked this week, starting the meeting on Wednesday, about how excited he was to get over here and to be a part of this game. I know it means a lot to him and the family, and it's a great family, a great organization. I've been around in the family forever, and so I know how much this means to them and how much a win here would mean to the family. So we want to win every game, but there's specific games where it means a little bit more, whether it's to an individual player playing against a former team or a coach with ties, or in this case, an owner who has such a love and affection for this area. So we know how much it means to them.
Aaron,
Two more.
Question for
Two
you.
more.
Will you be watching the Ryder Cup? You're a keen golfer?
If there's time, I know there's some matches coming up today, some foursomes this morning. I saw the pairings. I'm friends with Keegan. I thought he should have picked himself. He's playing so damn good. But yeah, I'll be checking it. I don't know if I'll be watching, but I'll be checking the scores on my phone.
And the second part is, in terms of sporting greatness, how good or where is Rory McIlroy on the list?
He's a transcendent player for sure. Anybody that golfs dreams about having a driver swing and accuracy like Rory. I've got to be around him a little bit through the event at Pebble Beach over the years. Never played in his group, but I've played behind him in a practice round before, so I got to be on some of the same tees a few times, and some of the lines he takes and some of the way the ball sounds coming off the club face is pretty amazing. So I know he's done a lot for golf, a lot for Northern Ireland, and I got to know Graham McDowell as well, who's from the same area over the years. And so I'm not going to say I'm friends with Rory, but I met him a few times and I love his game, and usually pulling for him this week, maybe not as much.
All right, last one, Mick in the middle.
Aaron, welcome to Ireland. First of all,
Thank you.
Ryan Fitzpatrick can get you a top in your house for Guinness.
Okay,
let's give it
all
a
right.
shot. Look, incredible career, huge game, tens of thousands of new fans getting brought into the sport this weekend. If this was it for you in terms of an international game, this is some way to go out, man. Unbelievable moment in Dublin.
Yeah, you're damn right. Thank you. I have a family history going back to Ireland and Scotland, so I've always wanted to get over here. I wish, it is what it is, but if the schedule had been a little different, if I could have chosen it, maybe we get over on Monday. Tuesday's a day off, get to get out, see some things. It's a beautiful country, it seems like, from pictures, and I'm a historian, so I know kind of the history geopolitically in the area. I'm a huge fan of Guinness. I don't really drink beer, but if I do, I drink Guinness. That's not a bullshit line that I'm telling you guys because I'm in Ireland. That's the truth. I've heard it tastes different off the tap in Ireland and in the States. Like I said, I've been to Northern, and it was great, but I'm excited about seeing what it tastes like here.